Today on my channel, Planner Friends, we're going to do a flip through of my prayer journal for April and May, and I want to share with you my top 3 lessons that I'm in the process of learning, but what this space has revealed to me and how it's growing my faith. So please, friends, stay tuned. Hello, planner friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm One Crafty Dolo. On Sundays on my channel, it's always about Jesus, faith, and Bible studies. Today's going to be a prayer journal flip, and it also comes for me with a good mug of tea. If you're sitting here with me, do me a favor, pull up a chair, grab some coffee, tea, sweet tea, whatever it is you need, lemonade, and let's get started. So as I said in the intro, we're going to do a quick flip through. I like to come up with specific lessons that I've learned these past few months to share with you. But before we begin, I'm going to take a little bit of Psalm 26, verse 7, just the first part of it. And I'm using this in my other study, but I feel like using it today too. The Lord is my strength and my shield. And then of course it goes on from there, but that's just a quick snippet. So I started using this in January. This is an Erin Condren petite planner. I love this space. I have so many prayer journal videos on this channel about it. I have been consistent every single day. I'm very proud of that. And yeah, so let's get into it, shall we? I don't know that I did a flip through of April, but I'm just going to talk and I'm going to flip, and if I see something. So I'm using the YouVersion Bible app guided prayer. Now I'm growing in that, and it offers you 2 Bible verses in the space of the guided prayer. It offers you prayers and it gives you prompts. So sometimes I go with my own prayers, then I write down 1 verse a day, sometimes 2, it depends. Then I also have these things where I call thoughts that I'm kind of going through things. So this month, I did a lot of stamping, as you can see, and then I do my markers. This has been one of my favorite spaces this year in terms of not only faith, but in planning in general. So what's my number 1 lesson that I'm going to impart to you today? God versus the world. And oh my gosh, perfect. Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient is the day its own trouble. Do not be anxious. And that is something I keep going through and through and through. Luke 1:37. For nothing will be impossible with God. My 2 favorite gospels right there. And so here I have thoughts. Today I am reflecting how many times God has made the impossible possible. And then I added, because I'm understanding myself here, to be honest, many more times than I ever realized. God versus the world and its values, okay? Number 2 is lean on God for help and strength. And number 3, I'm going to pivot later on in the video, is that He is always with us, okay? And that's what you see here in this space. And here, I had a lot of clarity today reading my anxiety and how God guides us. And it is no coincidence that I'm reading these verses on anxiety. I'm praying on getting rid of anxiety. I do have anxiety. I've had it much worse. It's much better than it used to be. Trust me on that one, my dears. So here I come up with the idea of, wait a minute, God is guiding me through this. Fear not. Luke 12:7. Fear not, you are of more value than many sparrows. And I said, God sees us, God hears us, God loves us. And I just want to reach out to you, friends, and say, wherever you are at this moment, and I'll be honest with you, this month has been, May was a month, wasn't it, into June. And a lot of lessons came through to me. And, you cannot always learn the good ways. You sometimes learn the bad ways, right? And this line here, I think, is really pertinent to some of the things I've seen this past month. John 15:12, this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. And I'm choking up, because a friend of mine passed away. And I don't want a virtue signal here. I don't want you to come and say, I appreciate your sympathy, but I feel bad because a sister lost her brother. A mother lost her son. That should never happen. And this loss is hitting me pretty hard. We had a group. There were 3 of us in this chat. We called ourselves the Bacon Cheeseburger Club because my friend got through college and high school by being a cook. And he made the best bacon cheeseburgers, and he had us over, my other friend and I, she and I went, and he cooked for us, and he even made us homemade milkshakes. I mean, this is great. This is going back a little bit, and he's gone. He had pancreatic cancer, and I'm just sad about that. And this space, don't misinterpret me. Yes, I'm choked up because I'm missing him. My girlfriend and I are commiserating constantly. But this space is what's getting me through that and all of it, right? And I'm asking God for strength, for patience, for calm, for less stress and drama here. So as I said, God versus the world and its values. So I'm going to share an example of that. Let me think of how to say this. Give me a minute. I'm honest with you on this channel, right? Okay, let's first dig into these 2 verses because I think this will help us both. Psalm 18:30. This God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord proves true. He is a shield for all who take refuge in him. Whatever you're going through, go and read that verse and pin it to your forehead, please, because he is our shield, just like I read to you from the other psalm. Joshua 1:9, be strong and courageous. I only took a little bit of that. So unfortunately, God has obstacles that come to us, whether of our own doing, through other people. And while grief to me is the outlier in those obstacles, there's no easy way through it. But I feel like the knowledge that my friend's not in turmoil, his body, couldn't take it anymore, and he's in a better place. And so I like to come into here. In me, you may have peace. John 16:03. And that's really important. When I say God versus the world, the second situation I'm going to talk about involves different relatives who are not being nice to each other. One, not nice to each other after a death. The other, just not nice to each other. And it saddens me because in the second case, it involves something related to my grandparents, and they would never approve of what this particular individual's doing. I'm just going to put it out there. Sorry, Mom. Mom knows, though. And what I've learned this month is that these relatives who used to say, like, we were a ridiculous family, we never had the money and the affluence and all the things that they did, and yet, at the end of the day, all these years later, my parents are still happily married. They love each other, and we have a good foundation. And I'm not leveling here. I'm not saying we're better than the relatives, but I think that foundation gives us this perspective. Does that make sense to you? I mean, here's one from Lamentations 3:24. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore, I will hope in him. And yeah, you know what? You may feel right now that you are not in a good place. Things may be going on. And let me share something with you, friends. God will see you through. You may not feel it today. You may not have felt it yesterday, but you need to reach in. And one of the things, I am grateful for this space. I really, really am. I just feel myself unfolding with all of it, and here you can see I use stencils and inks and pens and stamps, and I make my own joyful noise in this space, and I really feel like This has been so good to me. Okay, James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. The answers will come, whatever you're facing. And I wish I could tell people in the extended family that, because this life is so short. Oof, it goes so quickly. And here we are, right? You know, I just feel like this, I come back to this verse again and again, Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. And I just feel that this daily space, in a way that the other faith studies aren't, the praying, this has been such a good space. And here we go. Galatians 6:10. So then, as we have opportunity, let us do good to everyone, and especially to those who are the household of faith. Well, do good to everyone. Let's stop there. And that's the takeaway. You have a choice daily, weekly, in your life to say, okay, the world has its values. And ironically, the various relatives who are wrestling, a lot of it is about money and legacy and all this stuff. A lot of it is stuff. Your legacy should be one of kindness and fortitude and generosity and not stuff. How's that? And that's what I feel my parents gave us, and I'm very glad for that. So here we come into May, and I was using different little stickers, some washi. I change up the decoration regularly. So, yes. And the prompt here, God works all things for our good. And I said, come to him in humility, gratitude, praise, trust, asking for mercy. Here's another good one for anxiety people. 1 Peter 5:7, casting all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. And on it goes. I feel that we are living in difficult times, but I think times are always difficult. I'm a historian, so I have the long range view here, but God can and does move mountains, and Jesus is our hope. And so when you're hearing this, if you're with me on this, I want you to do me a favor, and today, not tomorrow, but I want you to sit there and think about the times where God has shown up for you, and he's given your help, and he's saved your bacon, as they say, because you know what? More times than I can count. Psalm 55:22. Cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. Lean on God for help and strength. Understand the pitfalls of the world and how we need to lean on God, right? This is a good one too. Didn't know this verse. Proverbs 16:9. The heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. Right? Very, very good. Psalm 40:17. As for me, I am poor and needy, but the Lord takes thought for me. You are my help and my deliverer. Do not delay, oh my God. And God is your help and your deliverer. Psalm 121:7-8. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep you, your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forever. So God is your help, your strength. God will lead you. And again, my third point, he is always with us. Psalm 34:19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of all them. And remember, King David was a lowly shepherd, and nobody thought he would be king, and yet it is through his lineage that we have Jesus. So God uses the lowly. God uses the poor. God uses the people who are having a tough go of it, shall we say, right? And there's that Psalm 28:7 that I began with. So as you're going through things, remember that. Here's another good one for strength and fortitude. Proverbs 3, 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. See, again, trust God, because yourself in the world, you're not going to get it done. Sorry, friends. In all ways, acknowledge him and he will make straight your paths. Talk about a mic drop, right? See, this is a joyous space, and I just am so happy I'm in here, and yes, thankful. Just so thankful. And I want to share this with you. I want to inspire you. This is another verse I think is very important, because hear the verbiage. Hebrews 12:1. And let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. So you may say, okay, whatever. No. We are expected to endure and persevere, but by putting God first, you will endure and you will persevere and you will get through. Okay? He is always with us. We just have to open our eyes and see it. And yeah, this is the other verse where I thought it was really good, because about how God is always with us. And again, this is one I didn't know. I always focus on Isaiah 41:10. Let's try this one. Isaiah 43:2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. I've heard parts of it, but never, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you. This is another one I need you to lean into, as I have in a period of grief and in a period of mourning. That is resonating very much. Colossians 1:13-14. He has delivered us from the dominion of darkness and transferred to us the kingdom of his beloved Son, in whom we have redemption and the forgiveness of sins. Jesus is our comfort and guide. He is always present to help guide us through all of our fears, anxieties, and rough spots. We are beloved by God. God shields us. He keeps us in his loving care and protection. What a wonderful space this is. I learned so much. Oh, here's one more on anxiety from Proverbs 12:25. Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. And the good word is in the scripture. All right, friends. I hope, as always, now we're already in June here, and today I'm filming this right before I'm going to drop it. Today's Friday, so this is as far as I haven't done Friday yet, but I've decorated a little bit. So here we are, and I continue to use the sermon notes I've gotten. I've been writing on my sermon bulletin, or my church bulletin, because I don't know why. I just have. I feel funny dragging this in there to church, And so I use this space. This is the 30-day reflection, and I'm really happy to have used this and to continue to use it. And here we are today. And that's it. Please, if I can pray for you, let me know in the comments. It would be my privilege and my honor. And remember, take Isaiah 43 with you, 43:2. He is always with us. Take that with you. Lean on God for help and strength. And again, I will be honored to offer prayers up for you. Thanks for staying with me. Have a blessed, blessed week, planner friends, faith friends. Bye now.